Hello guys, welcome back to another tier list video, and this might look like a video I made before, which I did make a Spelunky 2 item tier list, but I'm making a revised one after some days of thinking, because the last one I made wasn't very well organized, and some people hinted it out, and I understand that, and I could have made it more like organized and more, I could have explained why I put some items in their places better, so I want to make this tier list better than the one I made before. So this is just a revised tier list, a tier list I could have done better on. So let's begin this tier list. So this tier list I think has more items. It has like the Eggplant Crown, it has the Joker Crown, it has a lot more stuff. It has the Ushabi, it has the Tusk idol. It has a lot more stuff than the last one. It has the broken sword even. A lot of people forget about the broken sword. I mean, was it in there last time? I think it was. I think I did have it in my tier list last time, but I remember the Eggplant Crown was not in there. But let's begin. First item, the compass. That just goes unnecessary because it's a very useful item, especially as I said when you're in ice caves and you don't know where to go. There have been many times where I'm in ice caves or any other level, but specifically in ice caves where you have to like go down, but you don't know which where the door is, like right or left, and you have to kind of like find out. And there's like a lot of like gaps in between. So if you like slip up, run out of fuel, you're done for. You can be done. You can just be vaulted into the abyss. Sorry for that speaking, but I'm just trying to reason why I'm putting this compass in S tier. Now for the alien compass. The alien compass is like compass, except that it points you to the direction of the mothership, the alien spaceship, basically, and only the alien spaceship, I believe. And it's a pretty good item, but it doesn't do as much as the compass does, obviously, because it's specifically meant for like one thing. So I think last time I either put this in like A or S tier. But because it doesn't really do much, and because you have to like do a lot to get it, not like a lot, but you have to like go to temple, you have to go to Van Helsing and stuff like that. But for the risk versus reward factor, I'd say that like the reward is pretty good. You get the alien rifle, you get to unlock the new a new character. But I put this in B tier because it only does like one thing. Plus, the reward is like it's better than the risk. It's worth it, but not much worth it, I would say. Now for the parachute. The parachute is a lifesaver. I would say it's like almost as important as the compass. I would like to say it's important as the compass, but I can't think of too many levels where the parachute would actually be a real lifesaver. Like there have been like a few times where if you like maybe like slip up, press the wrong button, and parachute saves you if you fall. But other than that, like the only real useful like level where you could really use it really well is ice caves. It's the same with compass, but compass you can use like it's useful literally anywhere, especially like Volcana. Volcana, Neo Babylon. Yep, you'll need it there. You'll need it there, trust me. But I'm gonna put parachute in A tier because it's not useless. Like I had different opinions about it in Spelunky HD, where I was like, parachute's totally useless. Like I don't even ever use it. It's just junk. I'd rather have bombs or rope from a crate. But I've come to realize that parachute can save your life and will save your life more. Now, Ujedi. You basically need Ujedi to find Black Market. I mean, you don't need it, but it helps you a lot. So, the question is, I'm going to put an S tier, obviously, but should I put it behind or in front of Compass? I'm going to put it in front of Compass, meaning that it is more important, because, you see, it's just, you need it. You need it. You kind of need it, okay? That's my reason. It sounded like I was going to say something really explanatory and big, but you just kind of need it. It's just really important and you need it. Kapala. I love Kapala. I mean, everyone loves it. Plus, with Vlad's cape, it gives you extra blood. Did you know that fun fact? But anyway, it's a really good item. Gives you extra HP. Who doesn't love extra HP? Especially in a game like Spelunky. That kind of rhymed. But, Kapala, I'm going to put you in S tier. I'm going to put you behind Ujedi because I didn't feel like, you really needed Kapala. Like, most, like, good runs where I beat Tiamat at least, like, I don't really get Kapala. I can't actually think of, like, more than 2 runs where I have beaten Tiamat and had Kapala, because Kapala is, like, one of those items where it's like, oh yeah, it's nice to have if you can get it. It was kind of like, it's kind of like, let's say, Freeze Ray. It's kind of like Freeze Ray, or like Excalibur. You know, it's like it's a nice thing if you can get it, but you don't really need it to like beat the game. It's not something that's like really useful like Jetpack or Cape or Shotgun or something like that, or bombs or rope that you really need. And speaking of rope, let's just put like all the basic items in S tier. Like we're gonna put bombs and rope right in front of them, meaning they're more important because look, I don't I don't know many people that can like beat Spelunky without bombs and rope. You'd have to have like Jetpack. You'd have to have like a lot of things to like beat Spelunky without bombs or rope. I'm gonna put bomb box there too because it's also bombs, but in front of bombs. And put rope over here because I'd say that I'd argue that bombs are still more important than rope. And you might be like, well, how's it more important? Well, there are a lot of devices that'll help you, get from like high places, like low places to high places. Like you can have Jetpack, you can have Vlad's cape even sometimes, Hover Pack, Teleporter Pack. Those can help you get from a lower place to a higher place. Even Crossbow and Web Gun can do that. But there's not many items that can help you like blow up things without like the use of a shotgun at least. So if you want to blow up a big gap, or if you want to like get to black market without using any bombs. You're gonna have to have a shotgun on any pack, and I doubt that you have that. And you don't want to like blow up like a jetpack or like your prized pack. And power pack is pretty okay too, but we'll talk about that later in the tier list. Because now we're on to hedge it. Hedge it. It's one of those like items that you need to, of course, like beat the game, but you don't really need it to beat like Tiamat. You need it to like beat get to Hundoon and stuff like that. I haven't gotten to Hundoon yet, but it's in the process of things. You can either get like Crown or Hedge it. I'll tell you this, it's way easier to get Crown than Hedge it, because Hedge it you actually have to like buy or steal. With Crown, you just, kill Vlad, you get a free Dracula escape. Why not? It's like a win-win. Well, Vlad dies, I get his prize cape. It's epic, and I also get Crown. But when you go to Jungle, it's either like you kill all the shopkeepers and it takes forever, or you just buy it for $40,000. Like, it's just the price is better than in Spelunky 1, but in Spelunky HD, you would buy like the Ankh instead of the Hedget, and the Ankh would cost $50,000. So I guess it's better in some way. And Hedge it, you would get from dying at the totem in Ice Cave. So things are different in Spelunky 2, obviously, since it's a whole new game. It's similar to the first. I like how it has new mechanics, new stuff in it. But I'm gonna put Crown because of how like more superior it is. Behind, you know what? I'm gonna put it. I feel like it should either be ahead, like ahead of Ujedi, but behind Rope, or behind Ujedi, but no, I'm gonna put behind Ujedi, but in between Kapala and Ujedi, because if you get Crown slash Hedget, I'll put Hedget there too, because you know what? I'll put Hedget behind Crown because Crown is much easier to get, and even though they're literally both the same, except like how you get them, you get Excalibur from them. Pretty good. You're able to pick up Excalibur. You're able to use, I think, yeah, you're able to use this thing that you get from Anubis. So pretty good. The Scepter. I don't know how I forgot the name. Now, Eggplant Crown. This is a really cool item. Like, I want to put it in S tier for... No, I feel like I'm putting too many things in S tier. And that was one of the things I was pointing out. I'm putting way too much stuff in S tier. So I have to start being more realistic and harsh towards some items. Eggplant Crown. Look. It's a beautiful example of how Spelunky can be so much fun with just such like a silly item. But it's also an example of like, kind of a useless item. Look, Eggplant Crown is good, but the thing is that you can't really get it until like in game when you're in a sunken city, and you have to like go to like the secret eggplant world, and the secret eggplant world requires so much stuff to go to. You have to have like the eggplant child, and you get the eggplant child by like sacrificing a present to get the eggplant, and sacrificing the eggplant in like freaking ice caves, and taking the eggplant child all the way to Sunken City from Ice Caves. That means he has to survive Neo Babylon, and yeah, like he's gonna survive that place. It's just so hard to get to this crown. You also get a lot of HP in the Eggplant world if you kill like Eggplant Yama. Spoilers, by the way. I'm sorry, but Yama's in Spelunky 2. He's just an Eggplant now, and if you kill him, he gives you a lot of HP, and he gives you the Eggplant Crown as well. And basically, this is what it allows you to do. You've all been waiting for this, boys. Drumroll. It allows you to shoot eggplants. I know it's weird, and eggplants do damage, of course. It's a really cool item, but I feel like the risk versus reward factor is very like bad. It's more risk than the reward. You just get like a lot of You get well, we're talking about the crown itself. So you just get a crown that can shoot eggplants. I think it also might give you HP, but still, the risk is so high, and it's so unnecessarily high that I'm gonna put you in B tier behind Alien Comp. Well, yeah, behind Alien Compass because I feel like Alien Compass at least isn't that hard to like get. Like you can get Alien Compass pretty easy if you have a straightforward run where your run is just like, not messing up as much. But Eggplant Crown, you have to be like so careful and you have to like make it past so many objectives and things only to be rewarded with a crown that can shoot eggplants and that I think gives HP. I'm not sure. But now we're on to the Joker Crown. Joker Crown. You've all heard of the Joker Crown. Well, not all of you. I'm just kidding. But the Joker Crown is a pretty cool crown. It's kind of cool like the Eggplant Crown. The only difference is that the Joker Crown can, well, like once you get it, it's like a long process of getting it too. But it's like a less long. You have to blow up basically a bunch of altars, and you get it eventually. But how you get? But what does the Eggplant Crown? I mean, what does the Joker Crown do, or the Jester Crown do? Well, it teleports you randomly and it gives you a lot of bombs. And that is good. You can get up to like 30 bombs with it, which is insane. And it does this, it teleports you and gives you bombs every like few minutes or every few seconds or something like that. But it's pretty good. It's pretty cool for an item, but like I'd say the reward is more worth it for the risk because there's not much risk except like getting ball and chain, which can easily be like defeated if you put in like lava or something, or if you get it crushed by Olmec. But I'd say there's more reward to it than like Eggplant Crown. So I'm gonna put it ahead of Eggplant Crown in B tier, but behind Alien Compass still because like, well, because like imagine being like teleported everywhere. You wouldn't like that. I don't like teleportation items too much. You might know that. It's not like a personal bias. It's just I'm not good at teleporting in the first place. And we'll talk about two teleportation items later that I want to revise my opinion on. Because last time I believe I said that I put like Telepack in like D tier or C tier or something like that. And I put Teleporter in freaking A tier, which is I agree with because teleport is like a good item. I still agree with, but I also want to revise my opinion on Telepack later. But let's talk about the Ankh now. The Ankh. Now the Ankh, it's pretty good. I mean, it's one of those items like the Jedi where it's like, you kind of need it. It's really good. You kind of need it to like beat the full game to get the Hundun and everything. So I would put like Ankh ahead. Well, let me think about this. Yeah, I'd put it ahead because you need it to like get to somewhere really significant. You need it like badly, almost as much as like you need Crown or Hedge It. Except that Ankh is like kind of harder to get than like Crown or Hedge It, and that like you can like beat the game with like Crown and Hedge It and Jedi. You don't even need like Hedge It, or you don't even need like Jedi, Crown, or Hedge It to like beat the game in the first place. You can beat the game with like literally almost nothing except bombs, rope, maybe a weapon. But the thing is that, well, Ankh, if you don't especially you don't need it like to beat the game in the first place. But if you want to get like beat like the true ending of the game, you need this baby. You need it. Like getting to Hundun and everything, you need it. So, you know what? I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it ahead of Ujedi because it also gives you an extra life, which is kind of cool. If you mess up anyway, you can still beat the game. If you die, mess up, you can still beat the game. So it's still pretty cool for that. Now for the Tablet of Destiny. Tablet of Destiny is also another item you need to like beat the true ending of the game. It's a pretty good item, but the thing is that I recently learned, actually, it's a pretty cool fact that you don't actually need like the Ushabis or the correct Ushabi, I guess you could say, and the Tablet of Destiny to like ride like chillin' up like all the way to like the entrance to the Sunken City, because you can actually do it another way using like a lot of rope. I saw it on Reddit. It's pretty interesting. I'm not sure I can find it because it's like I just saw it scrolling one day. I thought it was pretty cool, but you can actually get there without using the Tablet of Destiny or these pot things that you get in Babylon. It's pretty cool. But Tablet of Destiny, I'm gonna put you like like I'm putting all the like game necessary items up here, but I'm gonna put you in, I guess, not in front of Ujedi. Like maybe I'm gonna put you like behind like all of this, cause think of what the tablet does besides giving you the correct choice for choosing the correct Ushabi pot, like, or giving you a clue. It doesn't really do much. Like, the crown slash hedge it gives you the Excalibur, gives you access to the Excalibur. The Ujedi makes you see items underground and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It gives you access to the black market slash, like, yeah. Also, you don't really need Ujedi to go to Vlad's castle, which is also interesting. You just bomb all the way down using only like 7 bombs, but it gives you access to a lot of things still besides that. And on extra life, we need that more. We need that more than anything, especially in a game like Spelunky 2, where dying is on your daily agenda while playing. Skeleton key, skeleton key. You are a very useful item. Um, it's one of those items where it's like, again, it's kind of like Kapala, where it's like, oh, if you get it, excellent. If you don't get it, well, that's okay. I mean, I feel lucky. I feel lucky to like get it in the first place, anyway. But again, it only does like one thing. It opens like regular locks. It doesn't open like the chest lock that opens the Ujedi, but it opens like regular doors. It's pretty useful item. I'm gonna put it in A tier ahead of parachute actually, because it's more useful than parachute. It's more useful than parachute. Also, I feel like I want to put compass like I feel like it's a little bit more useful than like Kapala. Also more useful than tablet. And I feel like tablet should just go way back there. Yeah, way back there, tablet. It should go like here. Compass is pretty needful. It's pretty good. Now the royal jelly that gives you a lot of HP. This is a item that's similar to the elixir, except the elixir can also cure like poison or curse. But these are both items that give you a lot of HP. I believe it's 6 or 7 or something like that HP. They're both good, but again, they're like the Kapala. If you can get it, they're like really good. Other than that, if you don't get it, it's okay because most runs I do not get these items. If I happen to stumble to temple, I will get elixir. If I happen to see a beehive or like a bee level, I'll try to get the royal jelly at least. If I have low HP, I won't trust myself not dying to the bees. But I would put both of these. Well, actually, Elixir's a little better than this, but I put both of these in A tier because they're not really like really good items. They're good, but like they don't give you like an infinite amount of HP, like a theoretical infinite amount of HP, like Kapala can. But I'm gonna put these in A tier. Like I'm gonna put it ahead of Skeleton Key, but I'm also gonna put Elixir ahead of Royal Jelly because Elixir does a little bit more. It cures like poison and curses is a little bit more than royal jelly. And cape is godly. Oh my god, I wanted to get this part for so long. Cape and Vlad's cape are just like one of the best items. Like I'll tell you my combo for a good Spelunky run. Cape slash Vlad's cape, ice ray, and like spring shoes. And if I'm lucky, spike shoes. Like if I can get all these items, I am set for an excellent run that'll at least go to Tiamat. Okay, that actually at most will go to Tiamat because I'm not that good at Spelunky 2. But these are excellent items, all of these items. So let's rank them all in order. Okay, cape. I'm gonna put cape. Uh, I want to kind of put an S tier, but also I realize I'm thinking of a more critical point. There's not really many faults with the cape. It's really easy to get in some instances. You can get it from like literally blowing up an altar and spawning a vampire there. You can get it from buying a shop. You can get it so easily. And I just feel like there's no like risk to it at all. Except like spending $12,000 at a shop or like blowing up an altar. But other than that, it's an excellent item. It's an excellent item, but I feel like I'm spoiling it too much. Like I don't wanna like spoiling it isn't treating it too good because it's a really good item. I'm gonna put it in A tier because I don't want to put too many items in S tier and have S tier just flooded. I don't want to have it flooded. So I'm gonna put Cape in A tier because it's still pretty good. I'm gonna put Vlad's Cape ahead of Cape because Vlad's Cape is godlier than Cape. That sounds like a weird word, godlier. Ice Ray, scum. Yeah, you know what? Ice Ray, you're gonna go in terms of weapons. You're gonna go like in items. I guess you're gonna go. I'm trying to think. Because it's like, I can get Cape, but let's get. I'm gonna put it. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I'll save you for later because I have to think about you for a while. But spring shoes, I'm gonna put you behind Cape. The same with spike shoes. I'm gonna put you both behind Cape. By the way, spike shoes and Kapala and Vlad's Cape is another excellent combo. Plus, like the blood you get from stomping on cavemen. Oh my god. Plus extra blood from. Oh my god. It's such a good combo. But never mind that. Freeze Ray. I feel like you should go and I don't know. I'm compelled to like put it after Vlad's Cape because it can like one shot even Tiamat if you do it right. I believe I've seen people one shot Tiamat with Ice Ray. It's pretty cool. You have to get close enough to Tiamat though. I feel like I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it ahead. I'm sorry if I'm controversial here, but I do think Ice Ray is better than all these items because I can have a run where I don't get Cape, don't get Vlad's Cape even, don't get like Spike Shoes, don't get Spring Shoes, don't get any of this stuff except maybe Parachute, but Parachute doesn't really, affect me much. And I will still beat Tiamat eventually, eventually because it takes a little bit, it's lucky runs. Oh, Jetpack. Jetpack. You'd expect me to put this, of course, S tier, but I have to argue with Jetpack a bit because, in all the packs, really, because really all of these packs are guilty of one thing, being explodable. Okay, reason one. Okay, if you go to Volcana, never go to Volcana with, like, these packs. They suck in Volcana. Every single one of them. Even Jetpack sucks. The only pack I would bring to Volcana, if you're willing to risk it for the biscuit, is freaking Power Pack. Because if you get Power Pack, your bombs are bigger. You don't even have to access the drill to get to like Vlad's castle. And you can just bomb all the way down using only at least 2 or 3 bombs, depending on how many like powder kegs or I guess those explosive boxes are in the way. So that's an excellent item for like Volcana. But thinking realistically for all levels, the only time these items are like not dangerous at all, I guess you could say, are like in every level except Volcana, of course, and Neo Babylon. Because Neo Babylon has like those zappy things, and it has like a lot of things that can explode your packs that you won't like. So I'm gonna put Jetpack behind Cape. Yes, I'm that controversial. Behind Cape in A tier. Because Cape, in my opinion, is better. You're not risking anything if you go to Volcana or Jungle with Cape. Because Cape can actually not explode. I'm sorry if I'm sounding passive-aggressive with Jetpack right now. It's just that Cape is just more superior than Jetpack. Whenever I see Jetpack, it's like $20,000. And it's kind of like, I feel like I feel like compelled to like kill the shopkeeper. Because like in Spelunky HD, the jetpack was so good. It wouldn't explode if you were hit by like a fireboy, and it was so good back then. But they nerfed it, and rightfully so. They nerfed it because jetpack was honestly overpowered, and it was too overpowered. It was like to the point where if you saw a shopkeeper any game with jetpack, well, they better be going to the next. They better be picking their grave sites because they're gonna be dead within like the next 3 seconds. So Cape, you're gonna go behind. I mean, Jetpack, you're gonna go behind Cape because I think Cape is better. Didn't really nerf Cape. In fact, they made it weirder where instead of like you have to like hold like space or something for you to glide down instead of automatically gliding down. So yeah, and Power Pack, Power Pack. You're good, but I wouldn't say you're as good as Jetpack. Like you're not as good as Jetpack, so I'm gonna put you behind Jetpack. Um, Hover Pack, Hover Pack. You're not that good, okay? You're not even like as useful as like Spike. Yeah, I'm gonna put you like. I'm sorry, but Hover Pack, you're just like, to be honest, not really that useful. I'm gonna put you. No, behind like all of this stuff because hover pack's like it's a fairly common item, but I feel like it's kind of useless if you have like cape, jetpack, or power pack. It's just kind of useless. Telepack, I mistreated you. I'm sorry, Telepack. I mistreated you. I was like, last video. This is a revised video, by the way, for my first Spelunky 2 item tier list. But for the unrevised video, I was like, oh, Telepack's D tier trash, and I was like, Teleporter A tier. Thing is, I realized that both are good if you know how to use them right. So, uh, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it. I'm not sleep on it, but think on it. I'm not gonna like wake up in the middle of the night and say, "Ha, time to edit the video and add these 2 items in finally." But shotgun. I'm gonna put shotgun like controversial opinion coming up. By the way, behind this. Okay, here's my reasoning. Okay, I know you guys are gonna be like, "How could you say shotgun is worse than I mean ice ray?" Well, here's my point. Okay, look, shotgun is only good if you have killed shopkeeper before. Like if you have shotgun and you haven't killed shopkeeper, I don't know how you've gotten it besides like buying it or finding it in a crate or something like that. And there's really no need for like I feel like shotgun is just you don't really it's not really that good. It's not really good if you haven't killed shopkeeper. But Ice Ray is a weapon you get if you. Well, I mean, shotgun is a weapon you use if you kill shopkeeper. Ice Ray is a weapon you use if you haven't killed shopkeeper because you don't have to worry about killing shopkeepers with Ice Ray, and you can't really kill any like you can't long range kill enemies with Ice Ray in the first place. It's more of like a one shot close range weapon. They have to stand really close to an enemy to like hit even. And I feel like they're just 2 different types of weapons that are for 2 different types of circumstances, and they're totally different in their own ways. But I would argue that like Ice Ray is more fun to play with. I didn't realize this in Spelunky 1 until like like a couple months after I played it. But in Spelunky HD, like I realized that Ice Ray was actually really good for the first time in forever. I was like, wait a minute. I used it to like one shot Anubis in Spelunky HD, and I was like, wait a minute. This weapon is kind of good. It was like, if I could one-shot Anubis, could I one-shot Yama? And I never tried it. I wish I could try it, but I've never tried it before. I wish I tried it. But anyway, besides that, Gruntle, on to Clone Gun. Yeah, Clone Gun, look, it's like, it's okay. It can be OP. It's one of those weapons where it's either OP or either. Sorry for my, potty humor there, but I feel like Clone Gun, you can like use it to like get a bunch of damsels and return them. That's like a positive using it. If you actually use it on like Excalibur, you get the broken sword and you can add that to your book. It's it's a pretty okay weapon, but and the risk versus reward factor for it is pretty good. It's more like you don't really lose anything. You get it from like a challenge, by the way, in like Tide Pool. But you don't really lose anything if you lose the challenge, and if you win it, you get the clone gun. It's pretty good risk versus reward factor. So I'm gonna put it ahead of Eggplant Crown, but behind Jester Crown in B tier, if that makes sense. Because the risk versus reward factor for like Eggplant Crown is horrendous. Like, imagine though, like if you get to like freaking like, let's say if you get to Tiamat's like hideaway or palace thing, and you were using like the Killin, and you drop the eggplant boy, and he just dies, and you're so close to like getting him to Sunken City. That would be so painful. But Crossbow, okay, Crossbow. Look, Crossbow. I don't mean to be too harsh, but this weapon is low-key useless. Like, even Boomerang is better. Because Crossbow, it only has, like, one shot. You can't load multiple arrows in it and shoot it. It's not like that. You have to, like, you can only shoot it once, and then you have to pick up the arrow after it falls from, like, being stuck to a block. It's a pretty bad item. I'm gonna put it in, at least it does damage. I'm not gonna put it in D tier. I'm gonna put it in C tier, because I don't really think it's that good, honestly. Webgun, sorry, but I have to kind of treat you harshly, too, because it's like, in Spelunky HD, at least you were like okay, but now in Spelunky 2, there's so many items again that can help you like like get to greater heights, as I said before. Spring shoes are a lot better now. There's hover pack, there's telepath, there's so much stuff. Vladscape is a lot better. It's more accessible now. You can get it a lot easier than you could get in Spelunky HD, and you're just not that good now, Webgun. So I'm gonna have to put you like I'm doing you dirty, but I am gonna have to put you in C. I don't know, C tier, but like behind Crossbow. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything except like shoot webs. Like it can't even deal damage to enemies. It just traps them at most. So behind Crossbow, I'm gonna put you. I'm sorry, you're just not that useful. Camera, um, you're kind of the same. You're like, well, the only thing you can do cool with camera is that you can access Easter eggs by like, again, like in Spunky HD, you're able to like photograph the ghost and they would put on like makeup and stuff, and it was pretty funny. And you're just like, or you can like blind enemies. But one thing you can do that's really cool is you can one shot bats, Dracula, and vampires, which is insane. Like if you think of how overpowered that is, like imagine just going to Vlad's lair. You're like, Vlad's like, I'm mad at you. You're just like, click, he's dead immediately. You can one shot him with that. It's so cool. I learned that, like I think it was supposed to be like it happened in like Spelunky HD, but I think it was supposed to be like a glitch in Spelunky HD, but then they made it a feature in Spelunky 2, which is really cool. So if anything, I'm gonna put you like ahead of like Crossbow, because Crossbow is still dookie in my opinion. Wait, does Crossbow one shot? Like guys, tell me if Crossbow one shots Vlad also, because I remember that like if you hire Van Helsing to kill Vlad, his crossbow arrow one shots him. So guys, tell me in the comments please if like Crossbow like a normal crossbow, not Van Helsing's, but a normal crossbow just kills him. I need to know. I need to know this. But moving on from that, Telepack. Telepack, I've thought about it for a little between these items, and I feel like Telepack should not go in D, not C, but not necessarily A either. Right in between B. Right in B. Because it's like, there's no, like, risk for getting Telepack. In fact, most people will not really pick it up because they're at, like, a detective shop, and mostly there's, like, going to be a Jetpack, there's going to be, you know, a Hover Pack, something else. And most people aren't really fans of Teleporter, which is, like, kind of, you know, sad from a perspective. Because it's, like, Teleporter is such, like, an underrated item. Because you can do so much cool stuff with Teleporter. But this is not the official placement, by the way. I was just thinking about it for a while, placing it down, letting my finger rest from the mouse. But I feel like it should go like somewhere between Eggplant and the Jester's Crown, because it can be used in so many creative ways. But I just feel like it's, you know, okay. I'm gonna put like Teleporter with it too. But I'm gonna put this item in between Eggplant Crown and this, because this like can be really OP sometimes, and this item's like risk factor is just way too high for it to be like exceedingly good. And you get it so late in the game where it doesn't even matter anyway, where all of the enemies do so much damage and have so much HP, where it's just kind of like, well, this is kind of a useless item then. I'm sorry, but it's just kind of useless because it's so late in the game. But now on to Teleporter. I'm gonna put it with Telepack respectively, but I'm gonna put it ahead of Teleporter because I'm gonna put Teleporter ahead of Telepack. My tongue twists today because Spelunky 2 items are so similarly named, but I'm gonna put it ahead because Teleporter I feel like is a lot easier to use. Because I've had experience using it in like Spelunky 1 or HD. I call it Spelunky 1/HD. But in Spelunky HD, I have more experience using it, and it feels more familiar when I use it in Spelunky 2 than Telepack. I'm still getting used to Telepack. I don't use it much. It's a crying shame. I know I should use Telepack more, and probably Epic Look is gonna probably be like, Kjax, you should really use this item more. It's really good. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put you guys right next to each other like your brothers, because these are like brother items. It's like he's like the big brother and he's like the little brother. Maddock, or Pickaxe as we call it in America. Anyway, Maddock, or I'm gonna call it Pickaxe because I call it Pickaxe because I live in America. Okay, okay. Don't make fun of me for calling it Pickaxe, even though it's called Maddock. But the Pickaxe, um, it's a good item if you can get it. I mean, if you're like not killing shopkeeper, it's like one of the most useful items ever. Useful, not useless, by the way. useful because you can get so much gold, and then you can buy so much stuff, and you can get such a high score. So I'm gonna put you like not in. No, I don't wanna put you in B tier because I don't feel like you're like kind of unnecessary or useless item. But I'm gonna put you like behind a lot of stuff in A tier. But I'm gonna put you like ahead of Elixir because I feel like it's more you can get it better. But I'm gonna put you behind Elixir. Well, yeah, no, ahead of Elixir. Sorry, my brain today. Ahead of Elixir, but behind. I guess it's called spring shoes. Yeah, they're spring shoes, but they should call them like Nike shoes. I don't know. They kind of just they look different. They look like high tech like bounce pad shoes. That's what they should call them. High tech bounce pad shoes by Kjax. But next we have the boomerang. The boomerang, or boomerang, as some people pronounce it. The boomerang, or I'm gonna call it boomerang again. Sorry, boomerang is a good weapon, but you can only like it's fairly common. I was gonna say you can only get it in jungle, but that'd be really stupid for saying that because you can get it almost anywhere because of how it's in crates and stuff like that. You can even get it in Olmec's Lair if you're, I guess, unlucky slash lucky enough. Some people would say it's unlucky to get like boomerang from a crate when you could get like bombs, bomb boxes, even a jetpack. But still a pretty solid item. Not as good as the other items. It's better, way better than Crossbow. Um, and you can get it easier than like most of these items in B tier at least. So you don't even have to buy it. You can like get it in so many ways. It's very easy to get also. So I'm not gonna put it like in front of Ice Ray. What am I, a madman? No, no, no. I'm gonna put you like in front of uh I guess wait, parachute. That's the name of it. I'm stupid for forgetting it. But in front of parachute in A tier. Because you're a good item, a bit underrated, I would say, because I feel like it's so good, but people just don't put enough like emphasis on it. They aren't really complimented enough. But Ushabis, these are useful if you want to beat the game. It's kind of like the tablets where it's like they're related in so many ways. You need the tablet to find out. You really need the tablet, the Ujedi, and the Hedget slash Crown to find out which Ushabi is the right one. So I'm gonna put you like I have to really think about this because the Ushabi gives you like a rideable dragon, so it's a bit more useful than like I have to really think about this. I'm gonna put it here, in between Tablet and Kapala. Maybe Kapala. I'm thinking about it. Like Kapala, I don't know. My judgment in this tier list is a little bit weird. I'm trying to make it more fair. I'm trying to give it more of an honest opinion rather than just having favorites. I know I've had favorites in this video already, like with Ice Ray, I may say, and Cape and stuff. But I'm pretty sure everyone loves Cape and Vlad's Cape. It's just like a favorite in Spelunky fans. But Machete. Machete is basically a little bit worse version of the Excalibur, but it's still pretty good. I mean, if you get like Machete, it's almost the same as the Excalibur, except it doesn't one-shot almost every enemy. It's the only difference. It doesn't one-shot almost every enemy. So with Machete, I'm gonna put it behind Pickaxe, but still in a good place. Still in a good place. Now with Excalibur. You are a very good weapon, and you're actually surprisingly easy to get. I thought it was going to be really hard to get Excalibur. I thought you had to, like, make it all the way to Sunken City the first time I heard of the Excalibur, because it has such, like, a legendary name. In fact, it is based off of, like, legends. Like, I think British legends, if I'm not wrong. I'm bad with, like, legend stuff. But it's an item that is, like, it's a legendary sword, basically. And it was like there's like a rock or a sword in the stone, and it's pulled out of that. And it's also pulled out of this. It's also pulled out of a rock in Spelunky too, which is kind of cool. They follow that same line. Pretty cool item. One shots a lot of enemies, not bosses though. I mean, you can probably like 3-shot, pull back. You can't 1-shot or even like 4-shot. TM at, I think. and try hitting on dude with like freaking Excalibur. It's hard. It's hard to hit him with Excalibur because you have to kind of like beat him to the top, or you can like shoot the legendary arrow into him and get into the cosmic ocean. But let's talk about that later once we get to these two items. But Excalibur, like on its own, being like a really good weapon, I would put it behind like sword. I mean behind like shotgun, but ahead of Vlad's cape. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna put it like, yeah, I'm gonna put it here behind cape, but ahead of Jetpack because like, you know what? I don't know. Like I'm changing my mind every second here, but I'm gonna explain my reasoning for these changes. Okay, so I put it, behind Jetpack ahead of Power Pack because I feel like Jetpack and Cape, despite Jetpack's like, well, every pack's faults with like, especially like heat and lava and fire, they're still pretty good items. Except like, Power Pack's still pretty good, only in like certain places where you need a really big bomb. And Hover Pack, we already explained Hover Pack. Oh, we already explained Hover Pack. Oh, okay. But I feel like it's a good item. It's better than Power Pack because I feel like I get Excalibur in a average run more than Power Pack. I feel like it's better. And now the Broken Sword. Whoosh! The Broken Sword. Okay. The Broken Sword is basically a tiny bit worse version of the Excalibur, so I feel like I should put it somewhere near the Excalibur / Machete. Because Machete, Broken Excalibur, and Excalibur are very similar items. They're very similar. So I'm actually gonna put it behind Excalibur, of course, because it's a little bit worse version of Excalibur. Not much worse. It's still a really good weapon, just shorter range. I guess shorter hitbox. I guess, but it doesn't do as much damage. Shorter, kind of like the bootleg version of an Excalibur. I guess you could say that. And we have like a lot of items in A tier, because A tier I feel like is like, it's not bad enough to be in B tier / useless enough to be in B tier, but it's definitely not as horrendous as like C tier, but it's not as good enough to be in heavenly S tier. We've only had like one item in S tier in the last 10 minutes. Holy crap, this video is already 42 minutes. I'm sorry. This video is so much longer than my original Spelunky 2 item tier list video. My original video, you can see it's like 14 minutes long. This one's already 42 minutes long. Jeez. We're making a lot of changes in this one. Also, I think this tier list is like a lot different because the username is different. It's also a lot better. It only has like, 5 tiers though. There's no like A, B, C, D, E. There's no E tier, there's no F tier, but that's okay. Alien Plasma Rifle. This item is a lot like Skeleton Key / Kapala / a lot of other items. This item is only good. I mean, it's good. It's actually good if you can get it. Like, if you can get it, then well done. But even when you get it, I feel like it's too precious or too powerful. Powerful is the right word to be in your own hands. It's like if you gave a child a freaking like Mustang. Like not like a 16-year-old, but like a 5-year-old a Mustang. They'd just be like, "Oh, what am I supposed to do with this?" Or if you gave like, I don't know, a teenager a freaking mansion. Like, that would be insane. It'd just be too much for them. And I feel like that's the same with Plasma Rifle, where if I get it, like, I don't get... The only times I've gotten Plasma Rifle in Spelunky 2 is when I either get it really luckily from, like, a caveman item shop, or if I get it from, like, another shop, secret shop, and I'm like, oh my god. This is way too much power in my own hands, because I just feel like I can't handle all this power. It's like, it's so powerful too powerful for my own being. So I'm gonna put this item in like B tier, but again, it's a lot. No, I'm gonna put it ahead of Clone Gun, but behind. I'm gonna put it like, yeah, in B tier, behind ahead of Clone Gun and behind Joker's Crown, because Joker's Crown gives you something, but you can't really. I have to use it smart. I don't know. I'm gonna put it there though. I think that's good. Now the Scepter, and we're on to our last items, by the way. I mean, last meaning like 13. But okay, last will make me feel more better. Because his chances are already really long. So Scepter, great item. You get it from Anubis if you kill him. And you need Scepter to get to the City of Gold, basically. That's the definition, or that's what it does, or how you get it. And I feel like it's also overpowered. It was a lot more, like, underpowered and easier to use in Spelunky HD, but in Spelunky 2, it's like they just gave you a freaking assault rifle. It's like so much more powerful, I feel like. Even though it's, not as powerful, or it's almost the same, I guess, as in Spelunky HD, but it feels so much more powerful or different because I haven't gotten that much in Spelunky 2. Like, I've only gotten it like 2 or 3 times because it's so hard to get it to Temple. And if you're at Olmec, for like any Spelunky 2 players that are here, like, most of us will just, like, go to Tide Pool instead of Temple, because it's like, well, why would I go to Temple if it's easier and I can beat the game anyway if I go to Tide Pool, you know? But nevertheless, I feel like Scepter should also go in B tier, because, like, well, I could argue that I could also go in S tier, because you need to, like, beat the game in some way, like going to Duwad and stuff. But, uh, that's also the case with, like, some other items, but sorry, my throat is so dry. So is my tongue. I need some water. I should have like brought a glass of water with me while I was recording this video. My voice may sound a bit scratchy. I'm sorry for that. But I'm gonna put Scepter in. Well, dang. I'm stuck between a hard place and a rock. Oh my! I don't want to put it there. Stop, 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 stop. I'm gonna put it. I'm just gonna save that one for later. Not for the bow and arrow. This bow and this arrow are used to get to the cosmic ocean from Hundoon's eye. These items, like, again, they're much like the Ushabi tablets, or the tablet and the tablet of destiny and the Ushabi dolls, because it's like these are items that are mostly for like beating the game and don't really serve any other purpose besides that. And I guess I should put it in S tier, because if you really want to beat the game, then you kind of need these items. You kind of need these items if you want to beat the game. Or, like, the real game, I guess you could say. So, I'm going to put them respectively in the same place, but also judging from, like, S tier based on its use doesn't really do much. I guess it's more of, like, useful in terms of, like, besides going to the Cosmic Ocean, it's more useful than, like, the tablet, but other than that, it's like not that useful. Sorry to disrespect you, Ushabi tablet, but you're like the least useful S tier item, because you like almost do nothing. You almost do nothing. The wooden shield and the shield. Wooden shield, you're kind of garbo. Okay, look, you can't really. I think it can crush enemies, but it can't deflect bullets. Also, it's just bad. It's just bad. So I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put it in C tier. But I'm gonna put it in C tier. Ahead or behind camera is my main question. No, I'm gonna put it behind camera. No, ahead of camera. It does technically like more defense or offense, but sure, ahead of camera, in C tier. Regular shield, you are godly, but you are too dangerous. Like, if you're playing 2-player or multiplayer, like co-op even, with, like, shield, then, oh no. You better not, you better pray that your partner doesn't squish you. I'm trying to offend you, Epic Look, by the way, if you're watching this video. I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm saying shield is a really, like, dangerous item. You have to be really careful with it. It's not very fragile. It's very sturdy. It's pretty dangerous, though. That's my point. It's dangerous either ways. It can crush a lot of, like, gold. It's good if you want to just, like, speed run in a way, because if you can just run past anything with it, it's kind of just like a Rambo item, meaning you can just, like, tank up with it and just run past shopkeepers' bullets as they fire at you and deflect, like, the bullets back at them, which is also a cool feature. So I'm gonna put shield, and I'm gonna put it behind. No, I'm gonna put it behind shotgun and A tier. Yeah. Golden Idol, you are good. You are actually like good. I wanna put it in A tier. I mean S tier, because it gives you money. It just legit gives you money. Like, why wouldn't you like money? Also, the ghost pot gives you money, so I should put it there. It can also curse you, and you can get into the gift shop with it, which is a pretty cool feature. But it also comes with like a risk of like, you know, the ghost spawning, of course. So I have to factor out that. But I'm gonna put the idle in S tier behind Kapala, but ahead of the Ushabi tablets. Okay. Same with Ghost, because I feel like Ghost Pot is also good. If you get like Ghost Pot and Idol and like $10,000 in one floor, oh my god, that is the most satisfying thing ever. I'm gonna put it behind Idol because Idol's usually worth more money as the levels go on and on. But yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Now with the Tusk, this thing is basically like the Idol but worth like $50,000. It's worth a lot more. And it's a lot, but it's a lot harder to get also. Considering the risk where you can anger Madame Tusk, it's kind of like, well, yeah, it gives more money, but it's not as easy to get as with the Ghost Pot or the Idol. So I feel like it shouldn't really go in, you know, S tier because it isn't like, you know, item that's really necessary to get or really easy to get or really just easy, but and easy and like good to get. But I'm gonna put you in A tier, but you know what? You know where I should put it? Because I feel like it's a lot like the Jester Crown. It's like one of those items that you get in kind of late game, where I guess some people would argue that like, sorry, my throat. Argue that Tide Pool is, you know, mid game or late game, I guess you could say. But if you're like someone who like goes all the way up to Undo and you're like, what, Tide Pool? Late game or like early game? I would argue that it's somewhere from mid to late game. You know, it's just one of those items, but I'm gonna put it ahead of, no, behind Jester. Behind that gives you a lot of money, so I'm gonna put you. But also like the alien rifle gives you a lot of money. I'm really conflicted. I'm gonna put you like here. Also, I want to change the position of like the alien compass. It was the first item in B tier, and I want to change it because again, like it only does one thing. It points you the direction of the alien spaceship, and there's like only a little reward. And you know, it's okay. So I'm gonna put you in like, you know, here because it only does like literally one thing. It does literally one thing, and you get pretty late in the game. Also, I'll say it's late. Temple slash Tide Pool are late, and you can only get to it in Ice Gates, which is, you know, past Temple slash Tide Pool. So you know. Now with the Scepter. Yeah, I put this behind me because I was like conflicted by it. Scepter, I realize is, you know, it's an important item that you need to like kind of beat the game in long way, I guess. So I'm gonna put it because it's like a really good weapon. I'm gonna put it like above all of this. The arrow of light, even like, because it's just like, again, it's like the crossbow but more useful. I feel like, which is like the arrow of light and like Kian's bow or Killen's bow. I forgot you pronounced it. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody with my crude pronunciation. But I'm gonna put it behind this, like here. I'm gonna put it actually here because I feel like Kapala is more important. But like ahead of Idol, but behind Kapala. Yes. Paste, God tier. I mean S tier. Yes, get S tier. Paste. Oh my God. Yes, you need it. Like you don't need it, but in Spelunky HD, paste was like one of the best secondary items ever. Now it's, you know, it's a bit harder to get since it's not literally sold everywhere. And you can only find spiders more commonly. Well, you can only find them in like you know, jungle now. Before in Spunky HD, you could find them in mines, you could find them in jungle, you could find them in a lot of different places. Now only in freaking jungle, which is okay and more realistic, I have to point out. So I'm still gonna put it though up here. Behind bombs and rope. I feel like it should go there though, 'cause it's like you kind of need it. You kind of need it. Eggplant. Look, you don't really need Eggplant to beat the game anyway, so I don't think it should go up here with like the items that you need to beat the game with. But again, it's like you don't really need it to beat the game. Like you don't really need. It's like The only use you get is like getting the Eggplant Child and stuff, and taking him and getting like the Eggplant Crown. So I know where I should go. It should go in B tier because right behind freaking Eggplant Crown, because it's like more useless than Eggplant Crown anyway. Turkey S tier. You know it. You know the times when you're on like 1 HP and then you see a turkey and you're like, and you see you see like Yang's turkey shop or turkey like place where he's like, I need help to find turkeys, and you're like, oh boy, I'm gonna have a turkey dinner tonight, and you find all the other turkeys on the level, but instead of gathering them up and nicely returning them to Yang, you get your spare bombs. You say, how many turkeys can I gather in one area to cook, and you just place a bomb there and cook them into a delicious meal that boosts your HP all the way up. God tier. I love them so much. Clover gives you more time on the level before the ghost comes. It's a really good item because you need it in places like the black market. You need it in places like that where you're going to take a little extra time, and where it's going to take a little extra time to like browse maybe. You know, it's like going to the mall in the black market. You want to browse for a bit maybe. And I have to give Derek you and like the entire crew of Spelunky for adding like the 4-leaf clover in, because it's a really good like item that helps you, like, it gives you more time in some places where you really need more time. And I want to put it in S tier because behind like chicken and everything. Actually, yeah, behind chicken, but I feel like chicken should go ahead of paste. Yeah. Sorry if I have this tier list has so many items in the first place. That's a lot more items in the first tier list, but I feel like it should include more. Yeah. Glasses. The only time you don't need, the only time when you like need glasses is before you get a new Jedi, or if you've never gotten a new Jedi, or if you go to Volcana and you use Jedi to like lower the drill down and you get glasses as a replacement to see ores through rocks and stuff like that. Then it's a good item. And I think it should go in A tier because I don't think it's like, extraordinarily good where I'd be like, oh my god, I need this. But I'm gonna put it not like behind the. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here because Maddock, like you need like Ujedi slash glasses to see like a lot of the ores that you need to mine with Maddock. Climbing gloves. Here's my honest opinion. In Spelunky HD, climbing gloves were in my list of top favorite items, which included paste, jetpack. I believe it was paste, jetpack, climbing gloves, and I think that was it. And shotgun, that's it, shotgun. And I was like, I love these. But in Spelunky 2, I've come to like hate it a bit because I feel like when you like on Olmec's first stage when he's like trying to swamp you, like a lot of the times when you have climbing gloves and you're trying to like do the cheesy method where you try to like or at least like when you're trying to get Olmec down, you stick to the wall sometimes. You don't notice it, and he just come and crushes you. And the climbing gloves just automatically sticks you to the walls when you're fighting Olmec. And it makes Olmec's fight much harder because you don't have like a lot of bombs by that point. Think in Spelunky HC, where by the time you got to Olmec, you had like what 40, 50 bombs, 60 bombs, even 70 and 80 sometimes because you've been killing shopkeepers the whole run, and bombs didn't explode back then due to gunshots. In fact, bombs were perfectly fine, like jetpacks and were perfectly fine when you shot them. Everything was perfectly fine. They didn't explode. So you got a lot of bombs and a lot of rope and a lot of resources. And you usually just like bombed Olmec all the way down to Yama's door so you could get into hell. But now you can't really do that because first of all, Olmec is like right after the third level. It's like after that's like if you got to Olmec and Spelunky HC right after like jungle. And you get to Olmec so sudden to the point where it's like, well, at most, I probably have maybe like 15 bombs, and there's like 3 stages of Olmec, so I don't know if I can, just bomb all the way down. So, you can't use it as easily, and I'm going on a long tangent. I'm sorry about that, but climbing gloves, I don't feel like they're as useful as they used to be, or I don't like them. They're still useful as scum as heck, I would say, but I don't like them as much as they used to be. But I'm gonna stick to like everybody's most opinion that they love them, so I'm gonna put them in. You know what? I'm gonna be controversial here. Guess what? They go in A tier, but they go behind spring shoes. Shocking, right? I just don't like them as much anymore. I'm sorry. Pitcher's Mitt, a good item, and this is our last item. It feels very melodramatic for our last item, but a good item, but it just doesn't feel like I need it a lot of times, because it's like, well, it's one of those items where you don't need it, but it's just like a classic item, you know? You get it anyway during your run, like, whether you intentionally get it or non-intentionally get it, you just get it anyway from some sort of shop, and you see it in the shop, and it's only like, what, 5,000, you're like, I could buy that, why not just buy out the shop, you know? For the heck of it, it's kind of like Parachute, where you just end up buying it or getting it some sort of way anyway. Like, you don't even intentionally need to get, like, have to get, you just eventually get it. But I'm gonna put Pitcher's Mitt as our last item behind glasses, but in front of Maddock. And that completes our list. I feel like so in conclusion, I feel like I put too much stuff in A tier, but not as much stuff in S tier as I did last time. S tier just feels less crowded now, and it feels more like filled with items that you absolutely need, are really good, or you need to like beat the game and stuff like that. True endings, stuff like that. But um thank you for watching this video, and I just wanted to say, like, I'm sorry for like the first tier list I made. It was very sloppy. It was very lazy. I feel like I just made it for the sake of making it, because I just wanted to list my, like, what my opinions of like items in Spelunky, and I wasn't ready for like a deep analysis of a lot of the items and a lot of Spelunky's mechanics while like talking about the items. But it feels good to spend an hour talking about Spelunky. Am I right, boys? I spent hours talking about Spelunky. Like, if you think this is the longest I spent talking about Spelunky, then you are wrong. I've spent at least like more than a couple hundred hours in total talking about Spelunky and talking about game mechanics and talking about, what if I tried this at Olmec? What if I tried this at Yama? Like, you know, I think about Spelunky every single day, because I'm thinking of new stuff to cook up, new stuff to, like, do. But usually I'm too, you know, nervous to do it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. One last thank you. And I'll see you next time on another video, guys. Or girls. Goodbye. I'm doing a thumbs up, but you can't see it. But bye.